Good day, Mom. We are the Group 5 reporting the Chapter 8, which is the monopoly. So, what is monopoly or a pure monopoly? A pure monopoly refers to the form of market organization in which there is a single firm producing a commodity or a service for which there are no closed substitutes. It exists when a single firm is the sole producer of a product or a service for which there are no closed substitutes. So what do you mean by closed substitutes? Closed substitutes means there are no other firms producing same product or products varying only in minor ways from that of the monopolist. For example, the Manila Electric Company or the Meralco monopolizes the distribution of electricity in the whole Manila. Although there are candles and kerosene to be used as lights, but still it is imperfect to substitute the electricity. And also here in Zamboanga del Norte, only Sanico is producing or distributing electricity in the whole Zamboanga del Norte, and there are no other firms who produce electricity. Next is the demand curve of a monopoly. So, in monopoly, the pure monopolist is the industry, and its demand curve is the industry's demand curve. The industry is not perfectly elastic, but rather negatively sloped. As a result, if the monopolist wants to sell more of the commodity or service, he must lower its price. Thus, for the monopolist, marginal revenue is greater than price,
and his marginal curve lies below his demand curve.
Next is the profit maximization total curve. The rules for profit maximizations are the same for the pure monopoly. Total profit becomes positive when the total revenue exceeds total cost, and negative when total cost exceeds total revenue. The firm breaks even when total cost is equal to total revenue, and profits are maximized at the output, which marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So here's a sample graph of profit maximization per unit curve. Next is the short-run equilibrium total revenue total cost approach. Given the market price of the product, the monopolist faced with these following questions. Number 1. At what point would I be losing? At what point the firm would be losing? And number 2, at what point would I break even? Number 3, at what point would I maximize profit? So, one of the approaches to answer those questions is through total revenue, total cost approach. So, the monopolist would be losing so long as his costs exceed his revenues. What do you mean by that? Is that when his cost is bigger than his revenues, and the monopolist would be losing. So the break-even point is arrived at when total revenues is just equal to his costs. So if the revenues are greater than costs, the monopolist accrues profit and can maximize his profit. If costs are greater than revenues, the monopolist would be incurring losses. The equilibrium output of a monopolist is the output at which total profits are maximized. So, here's the formula of determining the price. Determining the profit rather. Revenue minus cost equals the profit.
Less than most efficient size of plant. The size of plant is considered less than the most efficient if the monopolist market is so limited that the marginal revenue curve cuts long-run average cost curve to the left of its minimum point. Size of plant adjustment. By the monopolist adjust the long-run output by means of size of plant adjustments. 2 possibilities. The relationship between the monopolist market and long-run average cost may be such that a plant smaller than the most efficient size will be built. The relationship may be such that the most efficient size of plant will be appropriate. Example, through production and eventual distribution, the discovery, production, and control of the source of raw materials are the cases in point. Patent ownership and research. Patent held by the monopolist prevent other firms from developing the product. Also, another reason could be that a firm may become a monopolist because it is awarded a market franchise by the government. The long run. In the long run, entry of new firms into an industry characterized by pure competition is easy. Also, monopolistic industry is difficult and is often blocked either by natural or artificial forces. One of the barriers to entry into a monopolistic industry is the questions of size or economic of scale. Capitalization of monopolistic industries usually run is millions or billions of pesos.
Regulation of monopoly. There are two parties involved here. First is the monopolist who tends to maximum profits, and the second, consumer, who must be protected by the government and gives the poor details by the monopolist. Price discrimination. There are several reasons why price discrimination occurs. First, the monopolist can keep the market apart. Second, for price discrimination to be effective and profitable, the elasticities of demand at its price level must differ among the markets. It's widely practiced in our economy. Most efficient size of plant. The size of plant is considered the most efficient size of plant is the monopolist market, and cost curves are that's the marginal revenue curve. It's the maximum points of the long run average cost curves. The most efficient size of plant is where SM is equal LMC equals MR equals SEC equals LEC at output QM. At this point, cost of production is T and price is P. Profits are equal to PC times QM.
A study on monopolies. A well-documented study made up by the group of economists and the University of the Philippines School of Economics came up with the conclusion that the presence of numerous monopolies in the economy represent an enormous drag on productive capacity. So according to a thorough study conducted by a team of economists and the University of the Philippines School of Economics, the existence of several monopolies in the economy significantly reduces the country's capacity for production. The second is, can make supernormal profit which can be used to fund high-cost capital investment spending, and successful research can be used to improve products and lower costs in the long term. Because of this, a monopolist can afford to be inefficient and can still rake in a higher than average profit. So, a monopolist may afford to be inefficient and still turn a greater than average profit because they can produce supernormal profits that can be utilized to finance high-cost capital investments that can lead to improved products and lower costs in the long run. Monopolies in the Philippine setting. Monopolies in the Philippines had an unpleasant experience, and consumers had been complaining about the abuses committed by monopolies in the Philippines. Consumers had been protesting about the abuses committed by monopolies in the Philippines due to their unpleasant experience with them. Monopolies markets aspect of production are considered good or economically advisable cases where free market competition would be economically inefficient the price consumer. So when free market competition would be economically inefficient, monopolies are regarded as being a beneficial or economically advisable form of production. Sales promotion. In a marketing strategy to which business uses a temporary campaign or offer to increase interest or demand in its production and service. Sales promotion can have many objectives and ideal outcomes we will explore in detail throughout this article. Primarily, sales promotion used to motivate buying behavior or trigger an uptick in a purchase in the short term in order to reach a benchmark or goal. So in a marketing strategy, a company may use a brief campaign or offer to boost interest or demand in its product or service. This is known as sales promotion, and while it can have a wide range of objectives and ideal results, we will primarily focus on how sales promotion is used to influence short-term purchasing behavior in order to meet a benchmark or a objective. Next is inefficiency of the firm. In certain circumstances, firms in market economies may fail to produce efficiency. Inefficiency, scarce resources are not being put their best use. So firms in the market economies may occasionally produce inefficiently, which indicates that resources are not being used to their full potential. Next is short-run output restriction. As usage and prices in a firm do not exercise full freedom in terms of adjusting to achieve a goal, and there is no fixed cost in the long run, which means factors of production in a firm can reach an equilibrium. The productions of a firm can be aligned to realize profit at the company. So the output of the firm can be coordinated to realize profit for the company because consumption and prices in a firm do not exercise complete freedom in terms of adjusting to achieve a goal, and there are no fixed costs in the long run. Next is the welfare effects of pure monopoly. High monopoly prices leads to the direct loss of consumer welfare because output is lower and price higher than a competitive equilibrium. High prices means some consumers are priced out of the market because of a fail in effective demand. So because output is lower and price is greater a competitive equilibrium, high monopoly prices results in a deadweight loss of consumer welfare. High prices also mean that some customers are priced out of the market due to a decline in effective demand.